here's what happens in X-Men number 26. Cover date, November 1966. Title, Holocaust, by Roy Thomas and Werner Roth. Last issue, the X-Men are at the City Museum to prevent El Tigre from reuniting two halves of a magical pendant.
Too late, though. He did the end of the last issue, right?
Yep, they fail at this task. El Tigre has now become the reincarnation of the Mayan god Kukulcan. The newly empowered El Tigre leaves his henchmen behind to return to the Mayan pyramid where the original half of the pendant was found.
I'm sure there's a reason.
They have to restore the kingdoms of the Mayans to their ancestral glory.
Okay, that tracks for the Mayans, actually.
The X-Men recoup and return to the X-Mansion, and we need to keep Marvel Girl relevant, so we call her up and go, hey, can you find any books on Mayan history or legends? Thank you.
That's why she's at university.
Right? The research reveals that the pendant is indeed cursed, and it might be what's caused like an ancient volcano eruption.
It's so funny to listen to these things as archaeologists who are just like, yeah, this is the cursed pendant. I'm like, I've never literally called anything cursed.
Why
How would
not?
you know?
Why? Because research.
Obviously,
you haven't done your research.
about curses.
Yeah. Obviously. They're doing their own research stuff.
There's a difference between they thought this was cursed and this is cursed.
Well,
you are cursed.
The volcano they think may have been the effect of the curse. They do put a little bit of doubt there, but they definitely are like, that thing's cursed. Uh-oh. So in San Rico, where El Tigre went to, he uncovers the ruins and mentally recruits nearby villagers to dig for gold and protect the newly unearthed city.
He should have just brought his henchmen.
The crowning jewel is a serpentine tower with a giant solar stone adorned atop it.
That's very cool.
Which he says is able to recharge his pendant of power. The X-Men land nearby and have to take a small boat up the river to get to the city. So they run into a bunch of setbacks like a jaguar, some rapids, and a pack of alligators.
That is actually accurate because they use a lot of those canals, like those canals in Mexico and other places in Central and South America. Like it's very cool to travel on boat. Like that's good.
That's legit.
That's legit.
They finally make their way into the city and are unsuccessful in attacking Kukulcan head on, one by one. Mm-hmm. Angel gets hit by a full powered optic blast because Kukulcan dodged it with his like spider sense, essentially, that he has. On a hunch from Beast, he tells Iceman to freeze the solar stone on top of the pillar.
Okay.
Kukulcan's power starts fading, so he tries knocking Iceman off the tower, and his power just kind of goes boo. The tower ends up getting swallowed up by a fissure, and then that closes on itself. El Tigre reverts back to his human form, and Angel is quite injured from the battle.
Okay.
He then says that Cyclops blasted him on purpose to get to Marvel Girl.
That is a very Warren thing to say.
So the X-Men bind up El Tigre and head home.
Good for them.
The end.